Okay, let's get started. Every single time you've been asked to, okay, I'm going to show you. You have been asked to write down the equation of the straight line. You have to remember that you need a couple set, right? Remember, the rule tells us that y equals to mx plus b, right? What m stands for? M is supposed to be the slope. No? So this one sounds like the slope. And this one we have defined it. Not quite sure if it was you or someone else. So the slope, it sounds like the degree of the steepness, right? And if you want to get the slope, you need a couple points. You need a couple points to be able to get it, right? And this one sounds like the y-intercept, which is supposed to be, you need only 1 point. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. But if the graph has been drawn in front of you, such as this one, so the first thing pops in your mind that the y-intercept has been given, right? So you could write it just like y equals to mx plus 2, because this one sounds like it's been explicitly. So I think no need to calculate it because it's already given, right? Did you get it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But what if he, another thing. What is the first thing that you have noticed? You know, the straight line goes to the right, which makes sense that the slope is going to be positive, right?
Yeah.
What if we have another thing? This one, it goes to the left. So what does it mean? So the slope, it sounds like negative, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me show you. If I try to use Desmus, this application, it helps me to graph any equation that I want. Here we have y equals 2x. So what does it look like? The straight line goes to the right. Did you get it? But what if I try to change it into negative? What happened? This
Change the
one's
side.
reflected, right? Gets to the other direction, which makes sense. This is the reason, because I tried to change the slope from being rain into positive 2 into negative 2. So the straight line goes to the left. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what if you get something like this one? Listen. If he told me that this one sounds like this one, it's not accurate 100%, but anyway. So let me write 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of a sudden he asked me, I need you to write down the equation of the straight line. Remember the y. Let me write it. Y equals to mx plus b, right? To be able to get what b stands for, you have to look at the straight line. Do we have the y-intercept? Remember, this one is x, and this one is y. What is the y-intercept? What is the y-intercept?
2.
Yeah, so the first thing, you have to write it, the y equals to mx plus 2. No need to calculate it, okay? So right now, it's your turn to calculate what is the slope. I have a couple ways to do it. The first one, it sounds like the triangles, but we have another way. This one, it depends on to pick up 2 points. Remember that you need to get the change of y over the change of x, because the slope, it sounds like y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which makes sense. I need to get the difference of y over the difference of x, right? Which makes sense. I could pick up this one. I really like it. So sounds like 1 and 4, and this one also sounds like 2 and 6. Let me write it. 1 and 4, 2 and 6, right? So remember, this one sounds like x1, y1, and this one is x2, y2. So what is the slope stands for? So it's the difference of y. So tell me.
-4.
Oh, it's going to be 6 minus?
Oh, yeah. 6 minus 4.
Over?
2 minus 1.
Yeah, okay. So 6 minus 4 over 2 minus 1. So this one is going to be 2 over 1, which is supposed to be 2, right? I have another way. Let me show you the other way. I picked up 2 points. So we got rise over run, you know. So you have to construct a triangle. It looks like this one. This one is called rise. This one is rise, and this one is run. So it sounds like rise over run, and don't ever try to swipe it. It's going to be wrong because remember that y it's supposed to be on the numerator and x is supposed to be on the denominator. Okay. So what is the difference of y? So it sounds like 6 minus 4. So it's going to be 2 over run. What is the difference of run? It sounds like 2 minus 1. So it's going to be 2 over 1. So it's going to be 2. Both cases are correct. You can make up whenever you want. So what I want to do, I got what m stands for. So m sounds like 2. So right now you have the ability to write this one. It could be replaced with the new value. Oh, wow. So this one, it's going to be 2x plus 2. You get it?
Yeah.
So I need you to remember that every single time you want to write down the equation of a straight line, you need a couple things. The first thing sounds like the slope, and then you need to get what the y-intercept. Sometimes you don't have to calculate the y-intercept because you will find that, you could visualize it, and sometimes you have to do it by your own. Okay, so let me go over this one. So this one, it sounds like I don't have it. This one, look at this one, sounds like unknown, right? I don't have the ability to get it. Okay, so the point is, I need to tell you I need to tell you something firstly. So look at this one. So if I told you that this one sounds like the x-intercept, right?
Yeah.
If I told you this one looks like 2, remember, what is the coordinates of this point? Every single time I need to get this one, I need to get the coordinates of this. So I need to show you something. Look at this one. What is the coordinates of this? Oh, let me write it plus 2, for example, or plus, what is the coordinates of that?
1 and 0.
1 and 0, right? So this information is really important. It sounds like it's been hidden. He was trying to, it sounds like a little bit tricky. You have to know it by your own. What is the other one? He told you this one sounds like only 1. But what is the other coordinate? Because the order pair, it consists of x and y together, right? So I have x because this one is x, but I don't have y. What y stands for, you have to know it by your own. This one's going to be 2 and 0, right? He wouldn't mention it. And don't ever try to change their places because you have to differentiate between this one. However, this one is 2 and 0 or 0 and 2. This one is always 2 and 0, right? Because if you want to get the x-intercept, so y always equals to 0. And if you want to get y-intercept, so x always equals to 0. Did you get the difference between them?
So that would be 4 and 0.
Yeah, 4 and 0. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Is it clear for you?
And y is...
Okay. So right now, let me write down. So what is, the equation of the straight line, y equals to mx plus b, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense. I need to calculate the slope firstly, right? And from just a little bit of time, I told you that if you want to calculate or if you want to figure out the slope, you need a couple points, right? So I got it. I got them already. So the first point sounds like 1 and 6. And what about the other one? It's 4 and 0, right?
Yeah.
So what is the slope?
y2 minus y1 x. Yeah.
Yeah, over x2 minus x1. So this one you could write it just like x1, y1, and this one it's going to be x2, y2. But I need to ask you a question. Before doing anything, what do you think? What about your expectation about the slope? Do you think the slope is going to be positive or negative? Look at this. The drawing.
Positive. No, negative.
Negative, right? Before doing it, I know this one. It sounds like I'm pretty sure this one is going to be negative. Even if I didn't get it yet, I know, but I know I'm sure 100%. This one's supposed to be negative because it goes to the left, right?
Yeah.
I told you I have trouble cases. The first one, if it goes to the right, so it's going to be always positive. If it goes to the left or the other direction, always negative. And this one, it's going to be 0, right?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
I think you study it in physics. Anyway, so y2 minus y1, so it's going to be 0 minus 6 over 4 minus 1, right?
Yeah.
So what does it look like?
This is 6 and
Negative
3.
3.
6 and 3.
So it's going to be negative 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got the slope first. It makes sense that we have an order. We need to follow it. The first thing that you need to get the slope firstly. You wouldn't be able to get the y-intercept firstly. You need to get the slope firstly. Whenever we don't have, the y-intercept, it sounds like unknown, right? It sounds like a missing. But if we have it, if you told me this one, for example, equals to 7, so I could write it just like 7, the first thing. In this case, I need to get the y-intercept first. But whenever we have this one, it looks like unknown. I'm not quite sure. What does it look like? This one. So in this case, I need to get the slope firstly. Did you get it?
Yeah.
So let me write y equals to negative 2x plus p, right?
Yeah.
And right now, it's time for calculating what b stands for. If you want to get what b stands for, you need to pick up any point that you want. You have a couple points you could pick up whenever you want. But for me, I need to pick up the x-intercept because it looks much more easier, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to pick up this one. And remember that this one's going to be x and y. So what I want to do is just try to write 0. And this one's going to be negative 2 times 4 plus b, right?
Yeah.
So this one's going to be 0. And this one, negative 2 times 4, is going to be negative 8 plus b. Let me try to isolate what b stands for. So it makes sense. I need to move negative 8 to the other side. So it's going to be positive 8. So b equals to positive 8. So right now, it's time for writing down this. The equation y equals to mx plus b. And I find out what is the slope. The slope was negative 2. So let me write negative 2x plus 8. Done it. Do it again or understand it?
No, I understand.
Okay. Let me go over something else. Every single time we get as far as our exponent, we got basically, 3 rules. We need to follow it. The first rule, if you get the same base, remember that we need to add up the exponent together. So it makes sense if you get x power 4 multiplied by x squared, the basis sounds like the same. This one sounds like x, and this one also makes x, which makes sense. I need to add up those together, so it's going to be x to the power 6, right? Where did you get it? Because I was trying to add up 4 and 2, so it makes sense. I ended up with 6, right? This is the first rule. What about the other rule? The other rule, in the case of dividing, we need to subtract them from each other. So if we get something that looks like L squared m to the power 4 divided by L m to the power 3, what I want to do, I think I got the same base up and down, right? So let me write down L2 minus 1. What is 2 minus 1? Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like 2 minus 1. It's supposed to be L to the power 1 and m to the power 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't have to write it because whenever we have the exponent 1, you don't have to show it to the other. Just write it all m. So the last rule that we got it, whenever we have only one bracket For example, if you have a squared or 4a squared b to the power 3 all to the power 3, what I want to do is just try to remember that we need to distribute the power which has been written outside the parentheses, right? So it's going to be 4 power 3 a to the power 6 b to the power 9, right? Did you get it? Is it clear for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's going to be 4 to the power 3, so it's going to be 64 a to the power 6 b to the power. And any number raised to the power 0, for example, if you have 7a b to the power 3 all to the power 0, any number raised to the power 0 is supposed to be 1. Except 0 to the power 0. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me try to apply the rule that we have learned there. So this one, it's kind of, we need to get expansion of it. So he told me remove the brackets and simplify. So I need to multiply x to the power 3 quarter multiplied by x to the power 1 quarter, right? Okay, so the first one, I think it's pretty simple to make sense. This one's going to be x to the power of, let me add up them together. So it's going to be 4 over 4, right?
Yeah.
And then it's going to be 3 to the power of x to the power 3 over 4 plus negative 3 over 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This one looks like x to the power of 1 because 4 divided by 4 is going to be 1. And this one is going to be 3 x to the power 0, right?
Yeah.
And I told you that any number raised to the power 0, it's going to be 1, right?
Wait, can you explain that again? What's the second line?
9.
Second line.
Okay, listen. Look at this one. You mean this one sounds like a line?
Oh, what? How do you get 3 over 4 plus negative 3 over 4?
Okay, listen. What if you have x squared multiplied with x power 3 plus x to the power of 1? How could I solve it? So the first thing, I need to distribute it, right?
Yeah.
So this one sounds like x to the power of, what do you think?
5
Yeah, and then,
of 2.
no, it's not 2. This one is 1, right?
Oh,
It's
1,
gonna
yeah.
be x to the power 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what if we have something that sounds like a little bit tricky? This one is negative 2. What should I do? I have to do the same thing, right? Which makes sense. It's going to be x to the power of 2 multiplied with x to the power of negative 2. If you got confused, listen, this one you could swipe it. The rule tells us every single time you have a negative power, we need to swipe their places. So if this one's been written just like x to the power of negative 2 over 1, right? Which makes sense. I could write it just like x to the power of 2. Here we have x to the power of 3. What I want to do, I need to swipe their places. So it's going to be 1 over x squared. Did you get it?
Yeah.
I haven't done anything yet. So let me try to do the same thing. So this one's going to be x to the power of 5, which makes sense. X to the power of 2 multiplied by 1. So it's going to be x to the power of 2 over x to the power of 2. It's being canceled because we got the same number up and down, which makes sense. It's going to be x to the power of 5 plus 1. Did you get it?
Yeah.
But I don't want to waste our time whenever we get the same power. One of them positive, the other one is negative, which makes sense. You would end up with 1, right?
Yeah.
So this one's going to be x to the power of 5 plus 1. Because you could apply the same thing. I told you whenever we get the same base, we need to add up the exponent together. So it's going to be 2 plus negative 2, right?
Yeah.
What is 2 plus negative 2?
0.
Yeah, so this one's going to be x to the power of 5 plus x to the power of 0. Know that x to the power of 0 is supposed to be 1. So this one could be replaced with 1. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Is this one clear for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at this one. So what I want to do is just try x, and I need to add up the exponent together. So it's going to be 3 quarter plus 1 quarter, right?
Yeah.
And what about the other one? So here we have 3, because the coefficient there is 1. So 3 times 1 is going to be 3, right?
Yeah.
And here we have x. What I want to do is just try to add up the exponent together. So it's going to be 3 quarter. Yeah, okay, plus negative 3 quarter, which makes sense. They cancel each other out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this one is going to be 4 over 4 plus 3. Those it's being canceled. We no longer have it. So it's going to be 3x to the power of 0, right?
Yeah.
So, 4 divided 4, it's going to be 1, which makes sense. This one's going to be only x to the power of 1 plus 3, which makes sense. I got rid of it because, x to the power of 0 is going to be 1. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Is this one clear for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's obvious, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we end up the meeting and try to resume from the same link?
Yeah. Okay.